So what are some of the pros of ClickFunnels? I would say the number one most, the highest advantage that ClickFunnels offers is speed of implementation. By using ClickFunnels, like I said, Russell told the story of how he was just tired of waiting he just wants to test a new headline. He just wants to test a new, um, product design, a new upsell. He just wants to test it. And I was marketing manager for a very successful internet marketing business a few years ago, and we suffered from this. I really wish that if ClickFunnels would have been around at that time, we could have made, like, hope the owners never see this, but definitely, we probably could have made millions and millions more than we already did, because we had a development team that, they were good at what they did and they did all the pieces, but it just would take so long. We'd want to do a split test with, for just a new headline, just have our copywriter write a new headline, and it would take 2 weeks or 1 week or whatever, even a couple days. Crazy. It really only needs to take 30 seconds for you to write a new headline. And the other thing is, like, if you change something, it messes up the whole thing, and they would track everything in Google Analytics. And it just took so long to do anything, to make any moves. And as a business, especially as a, modern, technologically focused business, being able to pivot and test quickly is absolutely essential. And if other people aren't doing that, you're going to have such an advantage. So by having tools that help you do all these things faster, implement faster, your productivity and your production of ideas, winning split tests, winning upsells, etc., they all skyrocket. Definitely in that same vein, it really allows for lightning fast website creation. I really think that even if you're a complete beginner, if you say went through some of the first couple of really basic training videos, you could create your entire website. If you didn't have a website, you could build an entire website in like 30 minutes if you had all the content. Even if you didn't have the content, it'd be so easy. Probably a lot less. If you have any experience with, internet stuff, using WordPress or whatever, or building websites at all, then it would likely take way less than 30 minutes. If you just have a simple website where it's just like, this is who we are, this is what we do, and here's our product, that would probably take 10 minutes, 15 minutes to make something that looks really beautiful, really professional, and does everything that you would want it to do. All right, so what's another pro of ClickFunnels? Well, it has fast integration with a payment solution. It actually integrates with lots of different payment solutions, but I say a payment solution because I only really have experience with one, and it's Stripe. If you use them, you're familiar with them. They're probably the easiest, fastest payment solution online to get started with. And if you use them or can use them, ClickFunnels is really easy to set up to start taking payments literally within a few minutes. It's pretty amazing, pretty exciting if you are getting started with this whole online thing. It's really easy and fast to get started with Stripe. Now, I'll talk about it later. If you're using other payment solutions, it's a little different, and yeah, I'll talk about it later. But it does integrate with almost every payment solution you can imagine. Okay, some more pros of ClickFunnels. Now, I've mentioned this a few times, but I am always impressed by the beautiful designs that ClickFunnels has. I'll show you some of them later in the demo, but they just look amazing. Every page that you click, and within 5 seconds, it builds and even sets up all the other, pages that you need for that particular type of thing. They're all just beautiful. They just look very professional. Yeah, nobody's going to doubt that you know what you're doing when you build a page in ClickFunnels. And the other thing about their designs, they are effective And most importantly of all, because if you know anything about marketing, we don't really care that much about design. Design follows performance. Performance is most important. If you have an ugly page that converts better, then you're going to go with the ugly page that makes more money. But here's the thing. ClickFunnels has access to and is now being used by and is designed by the best marketers in the world. So the templates that they provide are not, this is the problem with using templates from a lot of landing page creators, like specifically for WordPress, the free ones. They're built by designers and they have design in mind, which design is nice, it's fine, whatever. But if you're a marketer, if you're focused on sales, you don't care what it looks like other than, you want maybe like brand recognition or whatever. But the most important thing is performance. And so these designs, they all look beautiful, but they're also built to work, to sell, to convert. So that's the most important thing. And then they make them look beautiful on top of that. So these are proven funnels, designs that the best marketers in the world have used to make millions and millions of dollars, get millions and millions of opt-ins and purchases and all this stuff. So that is really, really important. Another pro of ClickFunnels, it's definitely the easiest way to build a complete sales funnel. So from opt-in page that gets people to sign up for your list or whatever, to an offer, a sales page, a video sales page. They have all sorts of different offers that, different businesses have used successfully that they show you. Some of them I would never have thought of them on my own, but because they're a template inside of ClickFunnels, I think, oh, wow, how could I use that? How could I use their, free DVD plus shipping offer that leads to a, membership site or whatever. And if you're selling things online, you should be using funnels, or else you're missing out on lots of extra money. And this is just by far, I have built funnels in the past using just HTML and logic, building it out like on a piece of paper and setting up the flow of all the web pages. You can do it all manually, but wow, doing it in ClickFunnels, so much easier, so much faster, and just like less stressful, less work. Building out those funnels, it was cool. You felt very accomplished, but it would take a whole day to build out a funnel. And this is after all the copy is written, after all the designs are done. It would just take so long, and ClickFunnels has pretty much eliminated all of that. So another big pro I'm a big fan of is almost instant split testing. This is another thing that over the last 10 years of doing online marketing was just so annoying. For something that's so important, every single marketer says, you gotta be testing, always be testing, always be testing. It is so irritating to set up a split test. There are some softwares that make it really easy, but that's all they do pretty much. And were used to be like cost prohibitive for a lot of newbies, beginners anyways, because they'd be like $150 or something a month to build landing or to split test. And it's cool, it's great, they made it really easy, but that's all they did. And they also, there was some weird tricks of integrating with your website and all this stuff. So the fact that you can click 2 buttons and have a split test running is just so awesome. And you don't have to think about it like the Google way of setting it up. I've set up many split tests, and it's just so, a lot of times I just wouldn't even run tests because I didn't want to go through the annoying copy this code and put it on this page, and then copy this code and put it on that page and test them and make sure they're both working. And it was just so manual. And so the fact that you can click a couple buttons and do it is just amazing. Another thing that's really nice about ClickFunnels is they integrate with almost every autoresponder or email service. And that's because it's very popular. ClickFunnels has really dominated the market in funnel building, a lot of website building, landing page building. It dominated a lot of marketing-oriented businesses. And so a lot of companies work with them. I mean, it's foolish not to. If you have a payment solution, if you have an autoresponder, if you have an email solution, you should want to work with ClickFunnels because they're huge and a lot of people use them. So that's another pro. You just get a lot of integration options, or their support has, had every question from every kind of marketer, business person. So they've built tutorials to integrate with, almost every payment provider and email marketing software. I've used Aweber or Infusionsoft or whatever. They have integration solutions for everything. One thing I didn't mention is they actually integrate really nicely with WordPress too. So if you have a WordPress site, there's a plugin and you can use all of your ClickFunnels pages on your WordPress page. So that's a pretty huge integration right there. Another pro, if you're owning and running a business, is I think you really can fire your designer or programmer, or at least severely reduce their their necessity, unless maybe if you're a really, really huge company. But I don't know. I've never run that big of a company. When I did work for the biggest company I've ever worked for, this was definitely just a constant source of frustration for the owners and for me as a marketing director to have to be waiting for sites to be built or pages to be built. Not even sites, just pages. And we could have just done everything on our own. I could have just, manually done it in a fraction of the time. And you don't even have to be good at design because ClickFunnels already makes it look great. You don't have to think about these things. If you're running a business, you didn't get into it to be a designer or a programmer. Those are things that you've just had to accept over the last, 10, 15, 20 years, that you had to hire a designer or programmer. And you don't have to. ClickFunnels really takes care of, if you know the 80-20 rule, at least 80% of what the roles that they used to perform. Another pro that I really like about ClickFunnels is beautiful membership area. They just make it really easy. It's really nice. Any membership area that I build or product, that's my favorite way to deliver products usually. And it's just so nicely done. They have beautiful templates that they use. And you'll see inside the demo, but if you do membership stuff at all, it's just really nice. And along with everything else, they have basically beautiful templates for every piece of a marketing business you would need. Templates. And like I mentioned earlier, some of the templates, they look really nice, but they're also coming from all sorts of different creative marketers. So they'll come up with marketing ideas that you might not have thought of on your own. The way that they structure their funnels, or the elements that they put on their landing page can inspire you and make you more creative. I've had that experience many times, since they're coming from, they look really nice and they're proven to convert. Another really cool thing about ClickFunnels is they have amazing training and tutorials, even for total beginners. So they literally show you exactly how to use the software, how to set up your web pages, how to set up your landing pages, how to integrate. They have really good support, in my experience anyways. Just lots of training. I usually like to learn on my own rather than talking to support right away. I like to figure it out, and definitely some software is way better than others in training. Some software makes it, like you need to be a programmer to understand their training, and ClickFunnels is definitely not like that. They have a lot of easy to follow videos. They don't make it really complicated, like, oh, just go ahead and integrate your API with this token. It's just like, okay, to do this, you're gonna have to integrate your API with this token. Now what that means is a token is this, and here you just go here and click here and copy this and paste there. So I've definitely been a big fan of their training and tutorials. Another thing is they have really nice stats set up in a way that are really easy to read. And including going back to the tutorial and training, it actually comes with a bunch of amazing marketing training. Like I said, Russell Brunson has proven himself to be one of the best marketers in the world. And inside of ClickFunnels, you get access to a lot of his best principles, practices, strategies. And this arguably is worth the price alone. Just having access to that training is pretty amazing. The biggest pro, or one of the biggest pros, is that I have, worked for companies or built companies that have to integrate lots of different pieces. If you're using a shopping cart software and you realize, I want to take this, I want to use PayPal Pro. Oh, well, I guess I have to buy a separate plugin that does that, and I have to hope that it integrates with my theme. And my theme was built by a custom designer. So, I don't, oh no, now it doesn't work, and now I have to hire another designer to tweak the previous guy's code, or I have to sit on, WordPress. I'm specifically talking about WooCommerce right now. Sit on WordPress, forums, and they're all talking like coders, and I don't understand what they're saying, and I have to sit there and try to learn coding, but I don't want to. Oh yeah. So all these different pieces of software that you used to have to buy separately, they all get combined into this one thing that all works together. So it really can save you lots of money. Membership software alone is something that usually has like a monthly fee, or just, a big upfront fee. And getting it to integrate with all of your other stuff, it can be a challenge. Sometimes it works really nicely, and sometimes it works almost nicely, but there's this one thing that's kind of bugging you. It works really well, but it's hard to integrate with my payment solution, or, this image, it looks off every time somebody lands on the page, whatever. It's really hard to deal with. Landing page builder is integrated, shopping cart plugin, all the things I talked about before. They're all, if you think about it though, at least in the past, or even now, if you don't know that this exists, all those things are individual things that you have to pay a programmer to do, or you have to buy a plugin, a software, a service. You sign up for all these things, and you're nickel and diming yourself as a business owner, and that's what they want. But Clickfunnels just brings them all together and just gives you everything. Why not have them all in one place? I'm sure a lot of the plugin designers didn't like Clickfunnels. Now, what are some of the cons of Clickfunnels? I've used it a lot for clients and for myself, and I would say this is the one that has caused some problems. If you can't use Stripe, the payment processor, I feel like Clickfunnels, a lot of their features suddenly become very difficult. That's just my opinion. I'm sure the challenges can be overcome. Maybe they have updated their training on these things. But I usually see it as a roadblock. If I can't use Stripe, for example, when I first signed up for Clickfunnels, I assumed that they would integrate perfectly with PayPal. Now, if you're from Clickfunnels and you're watching this, I know you integrate with PayPal, but as soon as you integrate with PayPal, some of the features just don't work. Like their upsell funnels and stuff. That's just a big bummer. Like if you use PayPal for your whole business and then you sign up for ClickFunnels, you assume they're going to allow PayPal because they're like, oh yeah, we integrate with everybody. And they do. I know there are solutions, but it's just not as elegant. The most nicely designed, perfect transition thing you can do with ClickFunnels is sign up for Stripe. So every payment processor has their own processes for approval, etc. And I, to be honest, I'm not an expert on payment processors. I really don't know much about them. I've only ever used ClickBank, Stripe, and PayPal, I think. I did work for a business that used Authorize.net. I really don't know anything about it. But I think ClickFunnels integrates with all of those. But the easiest way, especially for beginners or intermediate people, that they recommend is using Stripe. So Stripe might not like your business, and that could cause some problems. Now, if you're selling a book or whatever, it's very likely that Stripe is going to accept you and really like you. But there are some businesses, some industries, some products that Stripe might not be a big fan of, and this is just a part of running an online business, payment processors. But if you can't use Stripe, suddenly a lot of the features become at least much more difficult to set up, and at worst, I think they just don't work. I think If I'm wrong about this, you can correct me, and I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure if you use PayPal, for example, you can take transactions, but they don't really integrate with the ClickFunnels platform that well. The tracking, it kind of like has to go off-site, and that's just a big bummer. Though, for example, one of my clients had set up ClickFunnels, had basically switched over everything to ClickFunnels because it was just perfect. It was beautiful. It was like, oh yeah, we can split test all the time now. We can always have a split test running. Everything's tracked. Everything's integrated. We can start, building all these digital products with the membership site. All the benefits of ClickFunnels, and they ran about $20,000 through Stripe. So you'd think, wow, sent them a lot of money, lots of customers, and then suddenly they got a notice that said, Stripe has reviewed your account, and we don't really want to be involved with your business. It wasn't anything like super shady or dodgy or anything. It's just they have a particular policy, didn't really meet their policy. And so this client was kind of, it was a big challenge for us because we had, thought that ClickFunnels was the best solution. And it was for most things. It's just, and now all of a sudden, yeah, a lot of the features don't really work perfectly, and tracking isn't all easy. And so if you have if you take full advantage of ClickFunnels and you don't use Stripe, it just becomes more difficult. That's my opinion. And like I just mentioned, if you think PayPal will integrate easily, as far as I know, the last time I tried, as soon as you use PayPal, some stuff doesn't work. And that's, I've already mentioned how much of a bummer that is to me. But if you don't care about any of this, if you can use Stripe, then, oh man, it's so easy. It's super easy to use Stripe. So if you can use Stripe, you're golden. The other thing, a big con of ClickFunnels, when I first signed up for them, I was fully bought in. I'm going to use them for everything. And in my personal opinion, their email, you can set up, you can use their email service provider, but they don't really mention until once you get into it that to use their built-in email software, it's not as easy, in my opinion. This is again my opinion. It's not as easy as just signing up for Aweber or any of the other big autoresponder things. It's kind of complicated. And they have good training and tutorials, but it's kind of complicated. You have to set up I forget what they're called, but the services that I don't even know enough about them to say what they are, but like Mailgun or Mailjet or SendGrid maybe, or Mandrill. Anyways, if you don't know what those are, you might have to learn if you want to use ClickFunnels email stuff. I just don't think their system it's not their specialty. Their specialty is sales funnels and landing pages and upsells and downsells, and the whole funnel is their specialty, and they're amazing. They're the best at it. But the email service provider thing, that's just a lot of stuff that other people are better at, in my opinion. So, but here's the thing. Number one, if you want to go all in and use ClickFunnels for everything, they have training for it. And once you get it set up, it works really nicely. I will say that. The other solution is very, very simple. Like I said, they integrate with pretty much every email service provider out there, and very nicely. So just use whoever you already use. Very easy. Another con of ClickFunnels, kind of philosophically, is you can quickly become very dependent. Just like I mentioned, that client, we were all bought in, had made a lot of money, and made a lot of money for Stripe, etc. Just loved ClickFunnels, and all the possibilities were open up, and then all of a sudden, we can't use Stripe. That suddenly makes it a lot less appealing. So you can kind of get real bought in, which is great, and if it works, then it's amazing, and you're just happy. But it kind of ruins other tools and platforms, and I'm sure those tools and platforms have experienced a lot of challenges because of this, because you start thinking all you do is build landing pages, you don't even do sales pages or anything else after that, or, you know, you don't even take transactions, or like I said earlier, you only do split tests, that's it. In my opinion, you need to have a plan to make it pay for itself right away. And a lot of beginners, that can be really hard if you're like brand new to marketing and selling. But if you already have a business, that's not a problem. Just plug in your normal process and then use the Clickfunnels system to improve it dramatically. So that is one of the cons. You can become very quickly dependent on Clickfunnels, and technically you don't need, funnel software to build a funnel. You can do it manually, and some software makes it fairly easy to build a few web pages. But if it gets more complicated than that, Clickfunnels, much better solution. All right, so finally, if you are interested in Clickfunnels, I hope you enjoyed this review. So I wanted to give you a link to where you can get started using Clickfunnels, trying it out for totally free for 14 days. I just showed you that trial. You can either try the fully fledged built out Edison plan. You can see all the bells and whistles and try out all the different features, test it out in your business, or you can start with the Clickfunnels plan and build up to the Edison. Either way, you can start them totally for free for 14 days. So that's a long time that you have, to build these pages really nicely, elegantly, and quickly, and test it out in your own business. Start sending some traffic, get some sales, get some opt-ins. So there's two different ways. If you want to be a super amazing person and help support this channel by clicking on my affiliate link, then you can go to www.digitalnomadrockstar.com/CF trial. CF like ClickFunnels. Just go to www.digitalnomadrockstar.com/CF trial, and that will send you to my link. Or even easier, just click the link below in the description. It should be on the first line. Just check below this video and click on the link that is provided there, and that will take you to a page where you can get your free trial of Clickfunnels and start employing the power of funnels in your business and magnify your business today. All right, so I really hope you enjoyed this full review of Clickfunnels. If you have any questions or comments, or you agree or disagree or whatever, you think I totally missed something and I should mention it, just let me know in the comments below. And if you want more reviews, demonstrations of different tools, practices, strategies in internet marketing, digital marketing, then subscribe to my channel, the Nomad Brad, and you will get more of those things. I do videos as often as I can. I think I'm going to do a lot more coming up soon. And I'm just really happy to provide value to people and teach some of the things that I've learned over the last few years in internet marketing, so that you can, grow your business and succeed online. So thanks again for watching. Click the link below to start your trial of Clickfunnels, and subscribe, share, like, all that cool stuff if you are an amazing, awesome person. Even if you're not, I'll still take your subscription. I'll still take your like. I'll still take your thumbs up. I'll take your comments. I'm happy to get as many of those as possible. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you in the next video.